And I'd like to have your opinion or your thoughts on this very issue. Now, earlier in the day, we brought you a report that the coordinator of pensioners in River State, Isaac Orang, says pensioners may embark on a protest if the state government fails to increase the amount allocated for the payment of their pensions and gratuities. It followed reports that River State tops the list of states with a backlog of unpaid pensions and gratuities to the tune of 119 billion. In an interview with our correspondent, Mr. Orang called for pensions to be harmonized and upgraded. Take a listen.
The pensioners are just there wallowing in poverty. With these hard times, people are not comfortable again. We're going to hit the street and make sure that we make the whole world know what we are going through. We have written letters to the governor. We have written to all of them that are concerned. No response from anywhere. Nobody is talking to anybody. So the only language the government here is protest, because it's very shameful for a state like this for pensioners to be crying. Most of our children are not even employed as to say they will give us help. The monthly pension does not take care of anything. A lot of the pensioners have families. Some people have not built any house.
Now, the coordinator of pensioners in River State further said the amount which is paid in vouchers cannot cover what is owed pensioners in the state. Take a listen again.
The government is owing the state pensioners about 110 billion. That's from the backlog of pension arrears that has not been paid over the years, and then the gratuity in the state. That one does not even include harmonization for the old pensioners. They are paying 1 billion per month, and that 1 billion does not take care of the number of the pensioners because the arrears are much. We are appealing to the governor to add some more money, not 1 billion every month. If we can bring out 5 billion, we'll be able to take care of these people. Those who are expected to die will not die because most of this debt is man-made. People can avoid it.
All right, so I remember 2 days ago it made the top 3 big stories for that day, and we talked about it, and a lot of you had your complaints. So I reached out to Mr. Isaac Orang today, and I was told that he was to join me on the show, but however, along the way, he said I would have to, postpone the conversation to another day. I already set my mind to talk about it, so I couldn't change it. However, he said that they had a meeting with the state government and negotiations have started, which made me also change my thinking, because before now what I wanted to do was actually get to the details of what really is the problem, because on one hand the government before this said, they're not owing pension and gratuities, that they had paid what was being owed pensioners, and they were paying regularly. But what the problem is and was, it had to do with the contributory pension scheme. And I think Mr. Orang also nodded to that effect, that it was, part of the problem. However, we're getting to hear a separate issue. We're getting to hear that, this debt to pensioners spans from 2003 up until today. Also, just like the former governor, Nyesom Wike, told us a certain time ago that 1 billion naira was, dedicated for the settlement of pension and gratuities in the state. We've now been told that 1 billion naira is not enough. I mean, think about it. If the pensioners have been owed 119 billion, oh my goodness, 1 billion naira would not be able to offset. Wouldn't really. Government, given that they have threatened that they will go, they will go ahead with a protest, or they will embark on a protest. Why is it now that the government has decided to speak in this, given the publication by Vanguard newspaper on the number of states owing pensions and gratuities, with River State topping that list? Is that the reason? However, I'm looking at it from the economic situation. So these are people who are above 60. Majority of them are above 60, because that's the retirement age, or you must have put in 35 years of service. So they're above 60. They've worked and they use their youth to work for the government, and it's time for them to enjoy their pension, and it's time for them to enjoy their gratuity, their retirement benefits. and it's not coming. And then you then add it to the current economic reality. What is the current economic reality? You and I, who are young people, are going through tough times. We're struggling to get by. Transportation fare has gone up. Yesterday we talked about inflation being 26.72%. That means the cost of food items in the marketplace has skyrocketed. That means transportation is expensive, house rent is expensive. Like you had Mr. Urank say that some of them did not build houses, they're still paying house rents, and they're finding it difficult to get by. And maybe a one-bedroom flat would have gone for 350,000 in parts of Port Harcourt, will now be going for 450, 500, because things are now expensive. Everybody's struggling to get by. How are our elderly people surviving? And that's the question that all of us should ask ourselves. And that's the question the government should, also try to answer. And because if we are topping the list when it comes to I think, but I thought and I'm confused about this. So come tell me what you think. Why do we always have to allow our elderly people, our what's the word for it now? There's a word for it, and it's just skipped my head. But let's go with elderly people in society, and we let them go through such rigor, such hard times before they get their retirement benefits, and it's really appalling and sad. But how do we also ensure that going forward, because every year people retire, and by the end of December, more people would have retired and joined the already waiting list of retirees who are eager to get pension and gratuities. And then by next year, maybe the first quarter, more would have retired. By the second quarter, more would have retired. And so these people would also be joining the waiting list of retirees waiting to get their retirement benefits. So I'd like to hear from you, really. What's your take on this? How do you view these things? Recently, there was the talk about 10,000 people employed into the civil service. Many years from now, maybe 35 years from now, we would now come back to the table and have this conversation about pension and gratuities. I really want to know, how do we as a people, this is a roundtable conversation, and I do know people who are close to the government are listening. So we want to make it constructive, so it doesn't look like we're fighting the government. It doesn't look like we're criticizing the government for no reason. But we want to talk for development. These things have happened. How do we ensure that going forward, these things no longer happen? That's what I want you and I to talk about, and I hope you will indulge me in this conversation. 0817 0002 and 017 923 0003. I take the numbers again: 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. What really are your thoughts on this very issue? And for WhatsApp, you can use the number 0809 0306416. Again, 0809 0306416. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We are live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, and we're active on X, Nigeria Info PH. I am Kala Dakarubatubo, and this is Hard Facts. We'll go for a quick commercial break, a very quick one. When we do come back, I'll take your thoughts on this very issue. Stay tuned. communities in Emoa overtaken by flood. Stakeholder calls for restructuring the federal government amnesty program. Lagos CP orders removal of DPO over extortion. Senator Ashiru replaces Works Minister as Deputy Senate Leader. Senate confirms Ola Olukoyede as EFC. I refer to as senior citizens. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Sometimes the brain just switches off. And yes, I know I call them elders and contemplated on what they are often called senior citizens. Thank you very much for that one. But you can also join the conversation. It's time for your contributions. I'd like to hear from you. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. If you're just joining, you're listening to Hard Facts with Kala Dakurubatabo, and we are looking at the church contemplating on going on a protest, and I'm asking the question, given the economic realities that we find ourselves, how are these people getting by? Because they are retired, they are not working, and they're saying that their pensions have been owed them. And I would have liked to have some clarity on the issue, given the fact that we've been told on several occasions that the government is not owing. What is the problem is the failed contributory pension scheme. But let's listen to Temple, who is calling from Port Harcourt. Temple, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Yes,
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, good evening.
Yes, the topic you are saying about, I'm concerned about it because my father was a teacher.
Okay.
For years, he retired and was sick in a fair condition. No money, but the man died for years, and I've been pushing this gratuity and pension. Nothing out to this hour. It's so painful.
Well, when did your dad retire?
He retired 2015.
Oh, okay.
So I believe so many people have died like that. So if I have money, I wanted to even go to court and sue River State government. But you know how the thing is.
All right, Temple, so thank you.
I believe it's wasting money too.
Okay.
I don't know. If God will help touch the governor to do something.
Well, when you say touch, what do you want the governor to do? Because that's also part of the conversation. What
At least to pay up.
Pay
even half. If we cannot pay the bank, we pay half. It will help people.
Okay. All right then. All right. Thank you very much, Temple. Temple, thank you. I've got Victor from NTA Road. Victor, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. What is on your mind?
Good evening, Canada.
Yeah, hi. Good evening. Welcome.
My own contribution is that government should try to pay their money because one of my aunties have retired for how many years until now they have not paid the president. So I don't know why they are doing the things. They delay the money.
So how has your auntie been surviving?
It is just God that saving her because the little money she have now, she have finished all. So they should try to pay her money. I don't know why they are delaying to pay her the money.
All right.
I want the governor to try to pay the money, please, before this year run out.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much. I've got Origi from Ogbogu. Origi, welcome. What is on your mind? Let's get to hear you, please.
Good evening.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening.
There is one question I always ask. Why is it that pensioners when they born, they always hear that pensioners are not being paid? Is it not the same people that go to pension that are also there to pay pensioners?
No, it's not about the people paying. It's not about the civil servants. It's about the government releasing enough money for the pension service to pay.
Listen, during the last administration,
yeah,
we were informed that pensioners and gratuity pensions have been paid, and those people were clapping hands. Yes, they have paid them. Is it today because the former government has gone? They are coming back today to tell us that they were not paid. I don't know the statement they are making. Before last year, they said they have been paid. Now they are saying they are not paid.
No, pension is a monthly thing. Gratuity is, I think, a one-time thing. And so what some of them are taking their pension and gratuities, but others have not, because there was the contributory pension scheme at some point. So that's what we are looking at, and everything being. I'm listening.
There is one other important statement you made that I said it shouldn't be. So see, you are referring people that are retired, that the money to rent the house is 300,000. Are they not having home to go back to their homes and stay? Haven't they built enough themselves so that at the end of this time they will be able to manage themselves? Mismanagement is sometimes causing all this sickness. That the man who worked at 5 years is unable to manage himself at retirement age. It's unfortunate.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much, Origi. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Let's come here. This one says, basketball. Good evening. On the issue of pension and gratuity, no possible outcome because Rivers State government does not see workers or pensioners as their priority. Working with Rivers State government is the worst for any man after. Oh, really? Okay. Charles from Port Harcourt, thank you very much. Well, let's stop it there. This one says, good evening, Canada. If the people can serve or trust their money in... If the people can serve or trust their money with River State government, that means we have finished. River State government deducted this money from workers' salary monthly or yearly in the name of saving. Oh, you mean save. In the name of saving it for them. Why not give them their money? Why is River State government suffering and stressing these people over their own money? No wonder the state is not growing. This anti-Rivers people should pay pensioners, please. DK from Port Harcourt. Okay, I had to skip some words there. This one says the inability of any state government to pay our retirees their gratuities is a deliberate act of wickedness. From what I understand, gratuities and money is deducted from these workers so that on retirement the same is released to them. But this is not the case. These politicians find it easier paying themselves jumbo severance package amounting to hundreds of millions of naira after serving for a maximum of 8 years. But these senior citizens are denied their chicken change. This is most wicked. The Rivers State government has no reason not to pay retirees their gratuities. The governor should remember that until recently he was a civil servant. Tony in Awuda. All right, Tony, thank you very much. Delaying the payment of our senior citizens is a pure crime against humanity. Fidelis Elemuwa from Chokocho. Now, while I understand that government is a continuum, I like to point that this government has just come in, and if the retirees are saying that they have been owed since 2003, then we can't blame this government entirely or not at all, for the problem. However, we look up to them for solutions to be able to solve the problem. And I'm saying, what is the way forward? How do we get by? And then I'm thinking, should we even scrap the pension as a scheme in the first place? Pay people their full allowances, whatever it is that you would have paid them at the end of their service for the state. You get to pay them at that point. And so, no need for pension, no need for saving for them, no need for gratuities. Anybody who can save for himself, then the person is on his own. Could that solve the problem? But I've got a commercial break coming up yet again. After the commercial break, we will continue the conversation during the open season. So you want to stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakuru Batbo, and this is Hard Facts.